G10 2018 at the Starline Gear booth. Jade's jumping around over there, wheeling and dealing. We'll go ahead and pan across a few things before they disappear into sales. It's like a little bit of a Mickey, crazy Mickey look. Gear Challenge is at, as we all know, at G10 2018, which is not required because G10 is for 2018. Next year it'll be G11 or G11 for those of us less likely to be properly dialed in. Looks like we've got an award for the Starline Gear booth, and it's Jade. Strike that, it's not Jade, it's Ryk. Well, actually it is. Actually, in the shot, it is Jade.
It is
Jade
back there.
and Ryk. How you doing, brother?
Good.
Good.
No
Listen,
worries.
now I've known Jane for quite some time, and
I'm sorry.
Yeah, thank you for those condolences. So, but I've never met you in person. I don't think we've ever talked on the phone. So I do know that you were the founder of Starline Gear, or the originator, whatever you want to call it, from the artistic standpoint.
Yes.
And so I'd like to, before we get into anything that's ongoing or current project, because you've got a lot of stuff going on up in that dome.
I do. It's a large dome.
A large dome. So just give me the background. What got you started with not only Starline Gear, but interested in jewelry or gear, equipment, that kind of thing?
Well, being started as an artist, it wasn't my choice. That's what life gave me. But in terms of Starline Gear, I used to work with a guy named Gabor, a Hungarian guy, crazy son of a bitch. And
most Hungarians.
Correct. You know Hungarians. So I learned just jewelry from being around and working with him, and so from that, he passed away in '99, and when he passed away, I was just kind of drifting, and I said, well,
what am I gonna do?
He's gone. I already had the Slickster, the main skull. I already had that in the shifter.
Okay.
Shift knob for hot rods.
Now this is when you were in Southern California,
yes.
Correct? Okay.
Yeah, I was in Los Angeles, and Gabor's agent, about 6 months later, after he passed away, came to me and asked me, "Do you want to make these shifters and stuff into, like, can you make them into jewelry?" And I was like, Yeah, I mean, I never really thought about that because Gabor was alive, and I didn't want to disrespect. I didn't want to feel like he was competing or something. So I made the first line, and I started business with another gentleman. And it wasn't Gabor's agent, but I started business in Japan, and we did our first release in 2000. But I had been Starline Gear Incorporated since '98.
So for at least 2 years, yeah.
Yeah, and I got my first trademarks and copyrights. My first trademarks and copyrights in 1993. Okay. So I've been having the skull for a while.
You've been gearing it up, so to speak, for some time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, but it didn't really launch until after the passing of Gabor. And then, I mean, I met Jade about probably 2 or 3 years into Starline Gear.
Yeah.
Jade came around, and I saw that he had skills and stuff, and I needed help at that point because it was starting to ramp up.
Well, and I think that's when I met Jade was, I don't know, maybe 2000. After 2005, maybe 6, 7, 8.
Yeah.
When were you, the Burbank
I was
studio?
I was in Sherman Oaks first. I went to Burbank in 03, I think, 02, 03.
Okay.
And I met him shortly after. Actually, I met him in Sherman Oaks, but he didn't start working for me until Burbank.
Okay. Yeah, that was when I first met Jade.
He had a
Burbank.
machine shop, and Jade was machining pieces for me. You know, like stuff like this ashtray. You know, like machining like the coaster sets. Like that was all old school Jade machining stuff.
Okay.
So, and then shit, where was I?
And at that time, it was one of my first in-person visit at an establishment with any of the folks typically associated with some of the organizations that were
we were working out of my house, out of the garage, and out of my house.
Okay, well, actually, my first visit was at the Burbank warehouse. We went in, took some photographs. Matter of fact, we had to.
Yeah, I've moved quite a bit, so yeah.
Yeah, you've moved quite a bit since then.
Yeah.
So I've kept up with him as far as some of the moves that you've had. So Burbank 03 about. And you moved out shortly after my visit. So.
Okay. Yeah, because I bounced around for a little bit, finding space, then wound up in Toluca Lake, which is Burbank as well.
Yeah.
Stayed there.
Very good friend of mine lives there. Yeah.
Stayed there for probably 7 years.
Okay.
And then from there jumped up to we had the Malibu showroom, Burbank shop, and then jumped up to Portland.
Right.
Closed everything out in
You went
LA.
to Portland when?
2013, I think it was. 2013.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was like towards the end of 2013. So that was.
Now Portland, you were in Portland for a while before you, and then let's now we could go on and on about the different jewelry designs and styles, and I'll mention something I shared with Jade. I don't know if he told you, but I was in just outside of Jakarta. I don't know, maybe 2008, 2007, and came across somebody had burned off or copied your photograph in a little key. And at first I thought, that's what they've got, and then come to find out it was a counterfeit.
Yeah.
So you've had a lot of counterfeiting problems.
Tons.
I mean,
I chase them down.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of hard to chase people down in Indonesia, but
I have.
Oh, outstanding.
Indonesia is actually easier because you can take it to the street. It's actually easier. Like in the United States, we go legally with lawyers and all that stuff. But in other countries,
I'm going to pivot around and let those guys get to that case.
In other countries, you would think that it'd be more difficult, but if you know the right people, it's actually far easier.
And that's always the key, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so we could go on, like I said, we could go on about the jewelry, but that's something that someone could actually just look up by going to the website and what have you.
Instagram is
exactly. It's probably really hot for you.
Instagram is actually the best. My website, I haven't updated that in years because Instagram is just so easy because I was doing all the web stuff myself because trying to get web guys, a consistent web guy is next to impossible. It's always, he's a web guy this month and he's going to, refurbish trailers or whatever, it's like
it's a very
itinerant.
Yeah, thank you. I was trying to think of a nice word for that. Yeah, but yeah, exactly. So the jewelry line has gone through a number of phases. You've also done collaborations with a number of makers, knife makers or flashlight makers, etc. So you've got that flexibility that we like.
Yeah, I mean, I love collaborations because it showcases what other people do. I've got my shit wired tight, like my whole passion is to expose talent, like other people's talents and stuff like that. Like I really get a huge enjoyment out of exposing other people's skills, talents, and all that stuff. So
well, I understand what you mean, because that's one of the things that I like about Gear Challenge is I can come and find out face to face in many cases, what got you started, what got you dialed in, why you do what you do, and find out some of that backstory about what you do, instead of just like, wow, this guy makes an amazing set of jewelry.
I mean, it's passion. I always said if I wasn't creating stuff, I would be the agent, basically the P.T. Barnum of artists, because I know and I love guys' artworks, and then what I do is I basically try to get them exposure and tell people, look how bitchin' this guy's stuff is, and so that's a real passion of mine, is exposing other.
Now, when you've dovetailed up to, and I said dovetail, but when you moved to Portland, it wasn't just to move the shop. You also opened
my whole life.
Say again?
Moved my whole life.
Exactly. Well, and Jade along with you. Of course, he's been part of your life for some time.
I moved all my guys. Chemo's the only one who didn't come. He stayed because he's a filmmaker. He stayed in Hollywood.
Oh, okay. Well, some people like that. So, when you got up there, a little other development occurred. A little thing called Bible Club. So, it's in the shot over your shoulder, and I'm going to go ahead and grab this real quickly. And you've got yours. Salute. This is this whiskey. It is I'll let you elaborate, because I'm not going to remember what you told me a few minutes ago.
Joseph Magnus Cigar Blend. It's batch 5, and Bible Club bought the entire batch 5, or really me.
Well, that's what it all boils down to, isn't it?
Half the batch is going to Japan, and then half the batch is just my stash.
Your stash.
My stash.
And closely associated to Bible Club in some way, shape, or form. We won't disclose the location. At an undisclosed location.
Somewhere in Portland.
Somewhere near. Let's go with near.
Near Portland.
Somewhere near Portland, Oregon. And maybe it's not Portland, Oregon. Maybe it's Portland, Maine.
You never know.
You never know, right? So, now, Bible Club has been thriving. I think you mentioned that within 8 months you were in the black.
No, from the first, that place was the only place I ever saw that from the first 30 days we were operationally black. Operationally black. I mean, the Bible Club still owes me money, but we've done amazing. Like, it's amazing in terms of the splash we've made. It's very difficult. Especially in Portland, there's a lot of bars, and there's good bars. There's good bartenders, but we managed to put together make some magic.
Bible Club open on, I know that there's a select calendar for that. What days are they open?
Open Wednesday to Sunday, different hours. Wednesday, Thursday is 5 o'clock to midnight. Friday, Saturday is 5 o'clock to 1 a.m. and Sunday is 4 to 11.
Okay, very good. And along the line of Bible Club, something's going to happen in Osaka.
Yes, we're just opening another. We soft opened it about 2 months ago. Jade flew out, Brandy, myself. We flew a gal named Jessica. She's our lead bartender, kind of the mama bear of the bartenders. And she's awesome. And so, so she came out with us to, quality check. So we've been soft open for about 2 months, and now we're doing like the advertised open on September 29th, I think.
Outstanding.
So
part of the process of that, you've actually showed me, and somebody can go to probably the website or preferably go in person to see.
I'll send you the pics.
You've actually moved some quite a bit of material, I might say.
I think it was 4 containers. 4 containers. I mean, just one container was just the stairway.
So the stairway at Osaka Bible Club
came
from the States.
Yeah, it came from a church. I bought it from a guy that does bar salvage out of Nashville. He has 2 big tobacco warehouses full of like the coolest shit. So I bought the stairway. I bought a bunch of stuff from him. But the back bar and the bar came from outside of Portland, a place called Aurora.
Okay.
A place called Aurora Mills. I just asked him, hey, do you have a back bar? And they go, no. And then he comes up to me and goes, you know what? We have an old humidor from the 1800s. It's massive. Do you want to look at it? And I go, yeah, let me look at it. Humidor back bar, it looks the fucking same. And it's built like a tank. So I go, it'll work. So I bought that, and
now, I'm curious because, and we've already discussed this in detail. Any pre-measurements before you shipped it to Osaka?
No, eyeball. That's a, Portland was the same thing. I have very few gifts, but one of them is I can really size things up very well mentally and visually.
Yeah.
And I put that whole bar together in Portland without measuring shit.
So you've got that mental square,
Yeah,
Okay,
I can plot things out pretty good, and I knew it would be tight. Osaka actually made me nervous. I knew it would be tight, but there's always a way.
Yeah.
There's always a way.
I'm going to reach over your shoulder real quick and grab this. So, things on the upswing. Osaka Bible Club. Soon to open. Yeah, we hope. Yeah, click, click, and salute.
Salute. Yeah, we hope. I never take it for granted.
You never
ever.
can. The first time you plan out and predict what's going to happen, it's all going to fall apart. Yeah.
I don't do that. No.
So
I just hope for the best. I expect the worst.
Yeah, I hear you, brother. I hear you. So listen, let's talk about one of the things that Jade wanted you to discuss, and I love you. I really, truly, you have no idea how much love I give to you for giving me the background on your organization, your company, a little bit of your background, and sharing that with me. Before we dovetail to this flashlight collaboration, what is your favorite adult beverage, if you have one?
You mean as far as cocktail or just...
What's your go-to beverage of choice, whatever it may be?
Well, it depends. Okay, at nighttime before I go to bed, it's Plantation XO rum.
Yeah.
It's a 20th anniversary rum. It's a perfect nightcap.
Straight up?
Straight up. One rock on occasion. I like it a little bit chilled.
Yeah. I try to do the same thing. I'm trying to limit myself to 3. I heard that Sinatra did that or something. I don't know, and it sounded like a good idea.
Well, I do one rock in there. That's usually my nightcap.
Yeah.
Or a nice glass of red wine. But in the daytime, before I sit down, before I do anything intensive like the lighters, these flashlights, you can ask anyone. I always have a glass of whiskey or a glass of rum, because it calms my nerves. Because some of this stuff I could prep for hours, and then on the assembly phase I could fuck it all up.
And you said you're prepping for hours, but you're also prepping mentally for days, if not weeks.
Oh, prepping for hours in the shop, but there's 2 weeks of effort that went before that to just get to where I am. But I always get to this nervous part after I finish the shop prep, and then go to final assembly. I have to just calm, it's nice to just calm. Or if I'm in like a super creative, like if I'm putting stuff together, I'll always do some whiskey. I'll always shoot down some whiskey, because what it does is it makes me more decisive quicker. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like I read old stories about gunslingers basically, and after a drink, and it's true, they calm your nerves, because if you're shooting and you're all over the place, but if we all know once you're in that zone, you just go.
You got to take the edge off sometimes. Yeah.
And so I basically do the same thing. It's
the same reason why a lot of guys resort to drinking after a let's say, a climactic event.
Yeah.
And of course, it can get sideways. It can turn into a problem, you know. But that's the exact same reason why a lot of guys will do that. So.
Yeah, I do it to just get my shit together in a more efficient. Otherwise, because there's 10,000 different things that you can do to this, like lighter or flashlight, but it helps me make decisions. Just don't second guess myself.
Yeah, in other words, you're decisive, click and on.
I get in that flow mode and I'm there for 6 hours in front of my bench.
Okay, next question. Do you enjoy smoking anything?
No.
Okay, no cigars, no pipes? Okay,
no,
we'll have to get you started sometime. You used to
smoke cigars a long time ago, but I always like talking to ladies and it always fucked my breath up, so I said,
good point. Well, let's go
I like ladies more than cigars.
Well, there you go. Hey, if you have to choose, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
So let's go into this flashlight collaboration. Go ahead.
So, these are pieces that we put together, and I'll include Jaden on this because he was a real key part of this whole thing.
And while because he's a little tied up right now, and I hate to pull people away from a sale or something, but you also have a leather guy putting the leather pieces together, and we've got that next door here.
We have 2 leather guys on staff. We have Greg Everett, who everyone knows, and then Feely. We have Feely there. That's why we call it Feely Bill. Because Greg is awesome. He's a master, and Feely's learned a lot from him. You know, Greg's had a couple of strokes, and he's still building these amazing trays and doing stuff. But you know, in terms of like sewing, he's been teaching Feely a lot of stuff. And Feely comes from the background of high-end automotive upholstery.
Oh.
So he knows what he's doing. So we've been, you know, kind of giving him stuff, and Greg's still working. So it's kind of nice. We have two options of leather guys in the shop now.
Beautiful.
So he made these incredible bags for it. And the one thing that I always stress to him is I want this stuff to look like it was built 100 years ago.
Yeah.
Hey Jade, come. I want to include Jade in on this.
Yes, sir.
Tell the camera or tell the people how the initial collab came together, because I told him you were instrumental in bringing that.
So I've known Mitch Lum for years back on the forums, and he's one of the OG guys as far as being involved in that stuff. And when he started working with his buddy over at Dawson Machine, he wanted to, and because he lives close to us as well, he's up in the greater Portland area, so he came over and approached Ryk and myself about doing something with their company. And Rick's idea was, hey, we'd love to work with you because we love doing projects like that, and we all love flashlights. But if you can provide a canvas that Ryk can work with, then we can do more things. And they were, without hesitation, they changed some designs on their machine. They had a prototype out to us within a couple weeks, and provided Ryk with a way better canvas to work with as far as putting his style and his touches on the light. And we've always enjoyed, as long as we've been in this community, have enjoyed working with different guys and different companies that want to do cool stuff in a high quality level. And so this project just came together naturally, really.
Okay, very good. When now is Starline Gear selling this light directly, or are you? Okay.
All of these collaborative lights will be sold through Starline Gear, but it's open to any customer, one of our customers, or La Lima, or Mitch, or anybody. And then because this is the first release of that, the introduction of this light, we've done a couple of open bid lights, and this is the last one's available to show.
Okay. What's the price on this?
I don't know. It's open.
Oh, it's open. Okay, yeah. Okay, makes a lot of sense.
We'll see.
Very good. Anything else in the collaborative line that's upcoming that you obviously wouldn't be held to, but just that you'd like to mention?
Oh, I've got stuff going from Hide, Nakayama, Takeuchi. There's always cool shit in the pipeline there. We've got
some crossover stuff with Derek from Steel Flame.
Yeah, we've got
quite a few projects.
Jack and Peaches from Tough Rider. We've got some really cool shit we're doing with them. I mean, that's come next year. We're gonna have a lot of stuff.
Okay.
We'll keep it low key right now, but man, I'm excited.
Good. It's good to see that's in the wings.
Jack's like he's like this super genius shop. Just
I know. We've done interviews with him for a few years, and for what, I don't know why, you got to call him Peter from now on, because for like 3 years in a row, I would walk up to him at SHOT Show, hey Peter, how you doing? And he'd look at me really,
And he'd just roll with it?
He would roll. Well, there's a whole
whatever.
inside story to it, but yeah.
Call me Peter, whatever.
Yeah, he'd walk along with it.
Yeah.
And one year he said, hey, by the way, and we talked, and it was an interesting story. Really, it's kind of spooky, but it's an interesting story. So listen, guys, anything else you'd like to talk about that's on the upswing?
I'm good. I think I've covered it all.
Glad to hear that you're going to Japan.
Yeah, good fun
Good
stuff
deal.
out there. It's
Listen,
always
guys,
good out there.
it's an absolute pleasure.
brother.
I really
Always good to
appreciate the
see you.
interview.
Thank you.
Take good care, and we'll
Appreciate
talk to you real soon.
Thank you.